Oh, you better watch out. You better not cry. You better not pout. I'm telling you why. Perfect. Of course, we all know that, don't we? My mother taught us that song at a very early age. I think she used it as a behavior modification for us children. No child wants to be found whining and crying while waiting for Santa Claus to come. There's too much at stake. No one wants to get coal in their stocking. But active and hopeful waiting makes all the difference in our spirits and behaviors. And not just when we were children, but as adults as well. Today, the church begins a new liturgical year on this first Sunday of Advent. It's a time of waiting, hoping, and anticipating, but it's not for Santa's coming for which we wait. During the season of Advent, we wait for the coming of Christ among us. That's what the word Advent means. It means coming. The church has designated these weeks before Christmas as a preparation for our spirits and our souls, so we won't miss the coming of Christ amid the hustle and bustle of the holiday season. We might better prepare for Christmas, for Christ's coming, not by focusing so much on parties and the baking and the decorating, even though that's a part of our tradition and our culture, but by focusing on our nativity scenes with the images of Jesus, Mary, Joseph, the shepherds, and the angels. Angels. How many of you ever made a snow angel? You must be from up north. Well, when I was growing up as a kid, when it snowed where I was living in New Jersey, we used to go out and lay on the ground and move our arms up and down like this and our legs in the same way, and we get up and there it is, an angel in the snow. Maybe here in Florida we can use sand angels instead of snow angels. Angels are the in thing. Years ago, remember you used to have an angel on the shoulder, you used to pin a little angel, just still has one there, right? Perfect, okay. We watch TV shows, Touched by an Angel, or we watch movies like It's a Wonderful Life, which tells a story about the mission of an angel. Angels surround the nativity scenes during Christmas. As children, we named our guardian angel. Some place angels at the top of their Christmas trees. And Christmas pageants are filled with angels. I was a pastor at a parish in California, and we had a school associated with the parish, and right before they took off for Christmas vacation, they had a program, and the second grade was always involved in doing the Christmas pageant. Of course, it was Mary, Joseph, 2 shepherds, and 3 wise men. 7 out of 35 kids. And guess what the other 30 children were? They were angels. The place was mobbed with them. They had very elaborate halos, and they had lights going around. It was incredible. We eat angel food cake and angel hair pasta. We might have angel fish in our aquarium. So angels are big. Angels are popular, especially during this time of the year. And so for the next 4 weeks of Advent, our homily series, or our message series, will focus our thoughts on angels and how they may help us prepare for the coming of Christ among us. Angels play a big role in the Bible. From the Old Testament to the New Testament, there are nearly 300 direct references to angels. The Christmas story is filled with appearances of angels. An angel appeared to Zechariah, who was one of the temple priests, and the angel's first words to Zechariah were, "Be not afraid." He tells Zechariah that his wife Elizabeth, who was thought to be barren, would give birth to a son who would then prepare the way for the Messiah. The angel Gabriel appears to Mary and says to her, "Hail, full of grace, the Lord is with you." And Mary was troubled by the greeting, but the angel told her, Be not afraid, for you have found favor with God. Around the same time, an angel appears to Joseph and told him to take Mary as his wife. The greeting was similar. Do not be afraid. And when Jesus was born, an angel appeared and announced to the shepherds, do not be afraid, for behold, I proclaim to you good news of great joy that will be for all people. Do not be afraid. Do not be afraid. Do you suppose the angels had a message to send us? Now, despite the consistent presence of angels in the Bible, there are still many misconceptions about angels. So what do angels do? In Greek, the word angel translates to messenger. Angels are messengers from God. And if we get anything out of this series, if we get anything to remember out of this whole series, remember that. Angels are messengers from God. We see kind of an example of that in our first reading from Isaiah. Isaiah is writing at a time when the nation of Judah was being attacked by the enemy. Enemies were threatening to destroy them, and everything seemed hopeless to them. And God, because of this, God seemed so far away from them. So Isaiah speaks out on behalf of the people and asks God, why do you let us wander, O Lord, from your way, and harden our hearts so that we fear you not? Now, Israel's wandering from God's way, led the nation to their troubles. See, the nation continually turned away from God, and now they were experiencing the consequences of their misdeeds or their actions. Now, Isaiah is not blaming God for Israel's problems, but he was wondering why God let all of this happen. Perhaps we recently felt this with the tragic shootings in Las Vegas and Texas and California, or when we heard about the killing of over 300 people praying in a mosque in Egypt by Islamic terrorists. Maybe we asked, why is that happening? When tragedy and hardship comes into our lives, we, like Isaiah, question why. But as Isaiah doesn't stop there. Eventually he moves further and asks God for help. He says, oh, that you would rend the heavens and come down, with the mountains quaking before you, while you wrought awesome deeds we could not hope for. We can hear the desperation and longing in Isaiah's words. Isaiah was pleading that God would do something, that Israel would see God's intervention in a very powerful way, so that the people would recognize God and turn back to him. Isaiah begs God to get involved and intervene, because otherwise the situation is hopeless. Maybe we find ourselves in the same situation. Maybe we are having marital problems or problems in family relationships. Maybe we've lost our jobs or our health is diminishing, or we feel hopeless and helpless. We may feel so hopeless that the only thing we can do is turn to God and ask for help, just like Isaiah did. And it's so often in these seemingly hopeless situations that God gets involved. So often, God gets involved by sending his angels. To a nation that had lost all hope of having a Savior in the future, God sent an angel. To a barren couple who had lost all hope for having a child, God sent an angel. To a young virgin who would give birth to our Savior, God sent an angel. To the shepherds who didn't understand that they were present for the birth of the Savior, God sends an angel. Angels in the scriptures reminds us that God does not leave us alone, that he was always with us. God is active in the world and brings us his comfort, help, and grace in our time of need, often using angels as the delivery system. Now remember, angels are messengers from God who ultimately lead us back to God, especially in our time of need. So as we begin our Advent journey, it's a time of waiting and watching and hoping, not so much for Santa, but for the coming of Christ into our lives. We are aided by God's messengers, the angels. They are all around us, all the time. They might even be sitting right next to you at church this evening. Angels will always guide us and comfort us with God's message. Do not be afraid.